COVID-19 has led to disruptions in the livelihood of people globally. Not only that, it has also affected the economy critically when lockdowns were imposed in many countries. Up to January 2021, over 91 million people were affected globally, and sadly, almost 2 million people lost their lives to the virus. Developing countries faces greater threat when its civilians living in poverty were not able to fend for themselves in the midst of the pandemic. The situation worsens when the poverty threshold is affected due to the disruptions in the economic sector. COVID-19 has increased the poverty threshold in Malaysia. In May 2020, the Movement Control Order or the MCO was imposed by the Malaysian government in order to curb the spread of the virus. The implementation of adequate standard operating procedures or SOP are made mandatory. However, the first stage of the MCO has disregarded the importance of maintaining the economic sector for the good of the greater public. Thus, the problems faced are as follows. Firstly, insufficient savings. Next, lack of social protection. Number 3, unemployment due to job loss during the pandemic. And lastly, domination of the economic sector by foreign workers. In this technologically advanced era, it is undeniable that technology has eased the lives of many. From connecting with one another, regardless of the distance, to facilitating our daily lives, technology earns the credit for all. Malaysia's poverty threshold is solvable with the help of information and communication technology. The proposed ideas are as follows. Number 1, the implementation of government policies. Number 2, the increase of odd job takers. Number 3, the role of the NGOs. Number 4, involvement in digital technology. And finally, advancement in education.
The effects of lockdown, job losses, and economic disruptions have disproportionately impacted the extremely poor and marginalized groups. This challenge demands a more effective and evidence-based approaches to develop anti-poverty programs and government policies. It is known that the use of ICT is practical tools to establish such well-suited policies, even though it will not likely to have a significant effect on the short term. But there's this one area where ICT can bring a significant role, which is the information gathering and the manipulation area. Since policymakers often lack access to reliable, timely, and up-to-date information required to understand the extent of poverty issues or to assess the effectiveness of poverty reduction programs, ICT can provide transparent, accountable, efficient, and effective interaction between citizens and authorities.
Increase of job has the positive that many people are employed. Of course, in the current era, technology is developing rapidly, but unemployment is also increasing. The development of an increasingly sophisticated era with advance from the digital side has had a positive impact. This impact has also opened up opportunities for people to earn additional income. For example, with the advancement of technology, online-based transportation service such as we know that like Grab and Panda have emerged. This precarious job, or we know that off-job, helps the unemployment rate, where this application become an intermediary so that it can reduce poverty.
My idea is to eradicate the poverty in Malaysia is about NGO roles. In terms of the use of ICT, NGO can distribute their communication more effectively through a broader variety of channels, improve on-site technology in third world country, and create long-term method to record data on poverty level in Malaysia. For instance, situation center the poverty of society, especially at interior village that need donation because the effect of COVID-19. When ICT is introduced into the situation, this will make the work of NGO staff more easier by using Google Map to track the location and give their donation adequately. Besides that, NGO also can make the charity online through apps which can help those affected by COVID-19, especially B14. Furthermore, NGO can create more job opportunity such as businesses online, so the poverty people can make the money through the internet.
Digital economy implies a digital technology-based economy, but most people see it as a business through the internet or the World Wide Web. The digital economy is supported by the spread of information and communication technology, or ICT, across all industry sectors to improve competitiveness. Digital integration of the economy contradicts traditional concepts of how industries are organized, how customers are supplied with utilities, information, and products, and how states need to respond to these emerging economic problems. For example, in recent pandemic phenomenon, it raised a few economic concerns, which through boosting the digital economy platform, so to aid the digital economy and to stop potential poverty, government did an economy injection during the pandemic, which is through programs such as e-commerce or e-wallet, where they give out 50 to 100 ringgit in certain apps such as Grabs and Touch and Go wallets and Boost. This helps to boost the transition from conventional economy to digital economy while eradicating COVID-19.
So basically, education is very important to people around the world. Proper and good education will help them to develop the instincts to study. And what does COVID-19 has done to education sector? Basically, COVID-19 has forced the education sector to shut down as the number of cases of COVID-19 continues to rise every day since beginning of year 2020. So how can the ICT be applied in education during this pandemic? Basically, during the outbreak of pandemic COVID-19, all universities or even colleges were required to have online learning class rather than having a physical class. The student will have online class at their home respectively, and this has become a new norm to people in Malaysia as well as other nations. This is really important to break the chain of COVID-19 to spread among the students and even lecturers.
In conclusion, the advancements of technology has indeed facilitated and aided the lives of many during these times of distress. ICT has enabled people to connect and to be able to perform everyday tasks at ease. On top of that, ICT has also helped in providing more employment opportunities to the general public. Technology is not always bad. Sometimes it's the way of living.